Hurry, Trotson! We can't let her get away!
You! Stop! We don't want to hurt you! Nowhere for you to go now.
Just tell us what we want to know.
Why are you doing this? I didn't do anything! Oh, Angel Buddy, what are we gonna do?
Oh, terribly sorry. I'm getting far too ahead of myself. But to be fair, it was a thrilling chase. I'll back up a bit to the beginning. This is the case of the Meek Interpreter. It all started with the missing foal. Sherlock and I were summoned to the house where the young filly, a Miss Laurie Wingham, was last seen.
Right. From the top, Mrs. Wingham. What happened?
My husband and I had gone out for the evening for dinner and the fireworks display in the park. We talked with Min Patty, our foal sitter, paid her, kissed Laurie goodbye.
Oh dear, my dear sweet turtle dove. It's okay. Shh, we'll get her back. And then we left. Patty was supposed to stay here this whole night, but by the time we got home, no pony was here.
What happened to the foal sitter?
We don't know. We got here and the window was open, and we couldn't find Laurie anywhere.
Boss, I got the mint girl here for you.
Sherlock, they have the foal sitter for questioning. Where are you?
In the den, Trotson. Very devoted family on mantel's covered in photographs of you and your relations, Mr. Wingham.
Yes, we're all close. My cousins fly in once a month to visit.
Not too many of your extended relatives, Mrs. Wingham.
I don't have any, and my life had no meaning until I had Swift and Laurie.
Well, yeah. The relatives have to fly in, don't they? The kid doesn't have wings.
Even without wings, Laurie is wonderful. Oh, my poor baby.
Excellent skills at comforting the bereft family, Bunsen.
Are you going to talk to the foal sitter or not?
Seriously, I don't know what's going on. I wasn't even here.
What do you mean you weren't here? We trusted you to always watch our little Laurie. Did you just leave her all alone?
You ponies are nuts! You cancelled!
Every pony calm down. Look, Patty, we just need your statement. We need to know what's going on.
Well, don't expect anything from me. The Winghams asked me to full sit like always 4 days ago. Yesterday morning, Mr. Wingham showed up and he told me that they didn't need me after all and then left, so I was at home.
You're lying! You arrived on time as usual. We talked about your parents, then paid you, and we left Laurie in your care. You're horrible! You must know something! What did you do with my baby?
Mrs. Wingham, if you could keep yourself from having a complete fit of hysterics, then I could give you all what I have observed thus far.
Better make it good, freak.
Sally, not now.
There was no forced entry, meaning the foalnapped was either allowed in or used creative and alternative methods to gain entry. The window of Laurie's bedroom was unlocked from the inside, and as Bunsen pointed out, Laurie has no wings, which makes the idea that she flew away on her own accord no option. She couldn't have leapt down. While this house is not terribly tall, it would cause a small filly harm to jump from that window. Therefore, an adult or adolescent could conceivably be the foalnapper. Then there's the matter of your testimonies. In the majority of missing foal cases, the culprit is close to the foal, making the immediate family the first suspects and close friends such as foal sitters the next.
So, either the Winghams or Patty.
How dare you accuse us, sir, in my own home to boot?
Oh, Mr. Wingham, on the contrary, you're completely innocent. The pesto sauce on your tie and the grass stains on you and your wife's hooves are clear indicators the two of you did indeed have your dinner date at night in the park.
So, we're taking in Patty.
I didn't do this.
She's telling the truth. She didn't.
What?
Every pony has a tell when they are lying. The most obvious late replies to questions, long pauses, and deflecting or offering excuses. Neither the Winghams or the full sitter have displayed these signs. What is more, fidgeting is often concurrent to lying. Lions fidget their hooves or flick their tails when they're speaking. These 3 ponies have not. Finally, when ponies look to the left, they're usually accessing parts of the brain that conjure up imagined false information. They're fabricating lies. However, when they look to the right, they're using the part of their brain that stores actual memory. They are recalling, thus telling the truth. Direct eye contact is also an indicator of sincerity. The Winghams and the full sitter, when not looking at one another to the right, established full eye contact.
All of that is as good as saying, I've got a hunch, and you know it. Eye movement and fidgeting aren't examples of good evidence, and none of it could ever hold up in court.
Well then, Bunsen, allow me to further illustrate their innocence. Look at Miss Patty. Her mane is sloppily coiffed, likely from being woken out of bed this early in the morning, meaning that she's been asleep. Evidence compounded by the creases in her coat from the sheets and pillowcases. The ribbon in her mane is crumpled, suggesting it was either worn previously than picked up from the floor from her room in her haste, or that she had slept in the ribbon. The former more likely the case, given the strands of carpet fiber. The wrinkles in this particular ribbon fabric also take more than 14 hours to create. When did you arrive home, Mrs. Wingham?
1. It was a long night.
It is currently 6 o'clock.
Don't remind me.
The soonest the full napper could have taken the filly would have been a short time after your departure, 30 minutes at most. If you left at 6 in the evening, that would have given the full sitter a minute 12 hours to take the filly, and given the time she would need to hide her, she would have even less time to discard the ribbon and go to sleep. The latest that the full napping could have occurred would have been shortly before your return, just after midnight. In either case, neither of these times match. Therefore, unless she's storing the filly in her basement...
We don't have one.
Her house is a ground level single.
Then she was not here last night. Behold, the innocence of the parents and the foal sitters all explained through means that even Trotland Yard's inept forensic team can't refute.
You!
Sherlock.
But that doesn't make sense. If the Winghams are telling the truth about everything, and Patty's telling the truth about everything, then who full-napped the filly?
Lestrade, were there any other ponies or possible witnesses, neighbors, friends?
Don't ignore me!
Just forget it. You know he does it.
Any other witnesses would be helpful. What about Patty's parents?
Well, kid.
It's just me and my mom. She's at work already, but she was with me last night. She'll back me up.
Let's go back to your house then, and I'll talk with her as soon as she gets back.
Then that just leaves the bloody hamster.
Good luck on getting information out of that.
A hamster? Where?
In the bedroom. Right here, on the table, in this cage.
Oh, poor Hampton. He must be just as worried.
We got him for her birthday. They go everywhere. She keeps him in her hat. She even talks to him. Oh, Swift, she must be terrified and lonely without him.
Don't worry, Mrs. Wingham. We'll find her. Sherlock's got a plan. I'm sure of it.
Do you mind if we take the hamster for questioning?
What?
If the only other witness to the crime is this hamster, and she keeps the creature with her at all times, then he most certainly would know who took the filly, and give us the information we need to find her.
You're mad! Do you know how few ponies there are that can talk to animals? If someone isn't born with the ability, they'd have to train for years to understand them.
And aren't we lucky that we have the chance to find some pony with that ability?
How, precisely?
Trotson, every pony knows that during the last days of spring, before the Summer Sun celebration, the city throws various events and gatherings to commemorate it. This year, along with the fireworks in the evening, various concerts, picnics, and other festivities, there is an annual pet competition. Trainers from all over Equestria will be in attendance. There will surely be some pony there with the ability to speak to the hamster.
And then you can find my little girl?
Well, if the full napper hasn't already transported her out of the city.
Sherlock!
What? Not good?
A bit, yeah.
Well, good luck with it, you two. Mr. Wingham, let me help you with your wife. Then we'll take written statements and start a search. We will all help you find your daughter.
Thank you, Inspector.
We took Hampton with us and proceeded to the pet show. I hadn't realized how large and expansive it could be, actually. Several tents and pavilions had been set up for the competition, and creatures of every shape and size were there on display. But little did we know that the very pony we needed for our investigation had just gotten into Canterlot that morning.
tell Toby you be a good boy and make sure to let all your wonderful personality shine through. Oh, and let's just brush your coat one more time.
Ooh, he'll get best dog in show for sure. Though he'll have stiff competition for best pet.
I'm sure he'll do very well, Pinkie. Thank you. I know Gummy will do his best too.
He sure will. He's as excited as I am, aren't you, Gummy? I hope Angel's not disappointed. I know you wanted him to get into the fluffiest rabbit competition.
Oh, Angel was wonderful. And I brushed and brushed his fur and his tail. But it's my fault, really. If I'd have done better, I'm sure he would have gotten in. Even if he didn't win the regional competition, he's still the winner in my heart. And I hope getting to come cheer on Toby will help him feel better. Right, Angel?
Looks like you got him a lot of friends to cheer for him.
Oh, Ian says he's not entirely here to cheer. He wanted to get inspiration from the city. Oh my, I'm sorry. He says his name isn't Ian anymore. It's Lee.
Okie dokie.
I'm sure the city will give you plenty of inspiration, Lee. Now, let's make sure everybody gets a snack before the judges come by. Some Swiss for Lee, a biscuit for Toby, and some lettuce for Angel. Angel? 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 Angel! Come back! Angel!
Don't worry, Fluttershy. I'll watch our tables.
Another bust.
This is beginning to grow tedious. Don't any of these so-called trainers understand more of what their animals say besides feed me, brush me, I'm sleepy, and clean my mess?
We should probably go home and try researching a spell to talk to him.
Finding a spell that grants animal speech takes time, John. Time that we do not have. The first 48 hours in a missing pony case are vital, especially when the victim is a foal.
But this place is massive! Surely the time taken to search this pavilion would be equal to, or greater than the time spent looking for a spell. Besides, you're not the one who has the hamster clinging to your back. Why can't he ride in your mane?
Because I don't want a tiny rodent causing chaos in my coif.
Coif? You look like you roll out of bed every morning! Anyway, we aren't likely to find any pony who knows more animal speech today. Let's just go.
Angel! Are you alright? Why did you run away? You could have gotten lost or hurt.
Perhaps you're right. The skill is rare, and the odds of finding any pony
But I
today
promise I'll do
are...
better next year. You're still my wonderful winner. Of course you can. Lettuce? Or some tasty baby carrots.
Sherlock? What is it?
John, look.
Okay, just a few. Till Minnie gives you a tummy ache.
She's fluent.
What? Her? Are you sure?
Now don't take that tone with me, Angel. You will only have just a few. It's for your own good.
She's fluent!
Wait for us!
You, with the rabbit!
What? Who are you?
You can speak with animals. I require your abilities.
My what?
Come with me this instant.
Let go! What do you want with me? I don't even know you!
Miss, we just need to ask some questions.
Now, this moment, no delay! Wait!
Nice work, Sherlock.
Hurry, we can't lose her!
My magpies!
Sorry!
Stop!
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Oh! Watch it!
I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
Lady Serpentine, no! Come back here, you ruffians!
Sorry!
Hurry, Trotson, we can't let her get away!
You! Stop! We don't want to hurt you! Nowhere for you to go now.
Just tell us what we want to know.
Why are you doing this? I didn't do anything! Oh, Angel Buddy, what are we gonna do?
Don't worry, Fluttershy. Ay, 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 ay!
Oof! Oof!
Fluttershy? Now, what were you two meanies doing chasing my friend? Who are you? Spies? Thieves? Assassins?
Huh? Oh my! This little fella says they're not meanies. They're private detectives.
Consulting detective, thank you.
He says that they're trying to find somebody to help find his filly. She was taken away last night and he's worried. It's very nice to meet you, Hampton. I'm Fluttershy, and this is my friend Pinkie Pie.
Well, why didn't they say so?
We didn't get the chance!
Are you going to untie these balloons now, or must we cause further disruption and draw more attention by popping them?
Just one sec. There you go. I'm sorry for that. I didn't know you were nice ponies.
Again, you didn't give us a chance. This is Sherlock Hooves, and I'm his friend and assistant, Dr. John Trotson.
Oh, those names sound familiar.
They sure do. I read your stories in the paper. Wow, so you're Sherlock. You seem a lot grumpier than the last one I met.
What?
Oops, I mean, nothing. Definitely nothing timey-wimey.
And though we were restrained, I did hear you address one another. You two are Pinkie Shy and Flutterpie.
Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy.
Close enough. Miss Shy.
Shy isn't my...
Since you can understand what the hamster says, we need you to translate for him. He's our only witness to a missing filly's foal napping, and without his testimony we cannot find the girl.
Oh, goodness! Well, of course I'll help you. We have to find her and reunite her with the family in Little Hampton.
Yes, if you wish. But before we start the interrogation, perhaps we should relocate? Our chase did cause quite a few inconveniences.
There they are!
Do you have any idea how hard it is to catch a python?
Running start?
Of course. Now.
Oh, goodness!
We're being chased by an angry mob! This is turning out pretty fun already! Woohoo!
After evading the mob, we managed to find a quiet street cafe to sit at and talk with Miss Fluttershy. We explained what we knew and what we needed, and the soft-spoken Pegasus mare was more than willing to help us. But we ended up having a bit of trouble with our witness.
I'm sorry that you have to share space in my main Hampton, but don't worry, Lee doesn't mind. Oh, I'm sorry, he's not Lee anymore. He wants to be called Leavin.
It doesn't matter. Ask the hamster.
Hampton?
Ask him what happened the night of the foal napping.
Okay. Hampton, do you remember what happened when your filly Laurie was taken? Don't feel pressured though. If you need a minute, it's okay. Oh my goodness.
Well, what happened? Does he know who took Laurie Wingham?
Well, it's a bit difficult. He said last night Laurie's mom and dad were all dressed up to go out. They do that a lot on the weekend. And then, it's very odd and scary.
Come on, Fluttershy, what did he say?
He said that the foal sitter, but not the foal sitter, came in. And then after Laurie's parents left, the foal sitter, but not the foal sitter, took Laurie to her bedroom and picked her up and jumped out the window with her.
The foal sitter, but not the foal sitter? What does that mean?
I don't know. That's what he said, though. They were the foal sitter, but not the foal sitter, too.
Oh, we're no closer than we were before.
Maybe I just didn't hear right. Oh, this wasn't the first time that happened?
What?
The first time what happened?
The first time that someone who was somebody they knew, but also not somebody they knew, was around Laurie. There's a ribbon and a hat store pony with a shop pony, but not the shop pony gave Laurie some ribbons. And then an ice cream parlor with an ice cream pony, but not the ice cream pony gave her free scoops.
I'm getting confused.
I'm following it fine.
Show me which shops.
Could you show us, Hampton?
I don't mean to be off topic, Miss Fluttershy, but that rat with you...
Leavin?
Yes, he changed his name. Does he do that often?
Ever since she found him. He was Brett for a while, then Ian, and then Lee.
Why? Don't most owners pick a name and the animal accepts it?
Some do, but this little fella doesn't want any name forced on him. He told me that he wanted to pick his name on his own, something that's interesting and intelligent.
Perhaps a touch of vanity. It takes a great deal of ego to forego being named by an owner.
Oh, but I'm not his owner. I run an animal sanctuary back home. When animals are hurt or sick, I nurse them back to health. And when they're being abandoned, I give them a place to stay until I can find them some pony who will love and adopt them.
Loads of ponies in Ponyville got their pets from Fluttershy. I met Gummy through Fluttershy. We've been best buddies ever since.
That's so kind, Miss Fluttershy. You must be a very kind pony. Probably the kindest.
Oh, well,
Kindness is usually done on the condition of receiving a favor or service in exchange. True altruism is exceptionally rare.
But that can be true, Mr. Hooves.
What compensation do you receive for tending your injured animals? Are you paid for the pets you give to the ponies?
Well, sometimes some ponies give me a little money for helping with their pets, but I don't need much, really.
She doesn't like charging ponies anything. When Gummy got a cold, she would only let me pay her 2 bits for all the trouble she went through. And she doesn't get paid by anyone when she helps the critters in the forest.
I can't let the forest animals suffer just because they don't get paid. What would happen to the little foxes who get thorns in their paws? Or bears who get bellyaches from eating too much honey?
Well, how do you pay for food and other living expenses then? The generosity of others?
I have my own garden, and I use natural things in my house.
Applejack brings lots of apples and pies, and I bring cakes and cupcakes and cookies and muffins, and Rarity's always having tea with her. Fluttershy never asks for anything in return for what she does. She's super kind. In fact, she's the
We're here. This is the ice cream parlor. And that's the pony who... you know...
Excellent.
Hello there. How can I help you ponies today? Would you like to try a Rocky Road Mudslide Sundae?
Oh, I do!
Tempting, but we haven't the time. We have questions to ask concerning a patron.
Oh, well, sure. I guess I could help. Should I get the owner too?
In a moment. I would like to speak with you first.
Do you know Aloy Wingham? Little filly with white...
Eggshell.
Eggshell coat, green...
Dark turquoise.
Sherlock, either let me question or do it yourself.
Fine.
Eggshell coat, dark turquoise mane, and green eyes?
Dark green, actually.
Sherlock!
Oh!
I think I know her. No cutie mark yet. Folks are Pegasi, right? I've seen her around.
I don't want to interrupt, but... Did you see her last week? On Wednesday?
Nope, I didn't work that day.
Come again?
I didn't work on Wednesday. I came to open the shop up, but then the owner came along. She said I could open up the shop, then that I could take the day off. So, that's what I did.
So then you weren't here all day?
Nope, but I think the boss forgot, because I still got paid. But hey, bills need paid and I needed bits, you know?
Indeed, and I see you help yourself to free samples often. The photographs on the wall behind you of yourself with whom I presume is your employer shows that you were much slimmer in the years past.
Hey! I get a discount on ice cream, and as long as it's on the tiny spoons, who cares if I take a bite here and there? You done?
We just need to talk to your employer.
He didn't like being told about the ice cream, did he?
Common of some pony filching on the side. Likely takes the remnants of the cartons each day and consumes them or takes them home for a perk.
Can I help you two? You're questioning my staff about a filly, right?
And being very rude, ma'am.
Could you answer some questions, madam?
I don't see why not. Oh, Ripple, take care of these folks, would you?
Sure thing, ma'am.
Could you give us the details of last Wednesday, madam?
Sure, I guess. I came to work and met with Ripple over there, like always. I let him open the shop each day, since he's been working here for a while. Then, well, we had our usual day. Ponies came in, we served them some of our delicious, high-fat and flavorful ice cream, then we closed up the shop together and left for the day. What does that have to do with the filly Ripple mentioned?
Oh, don't worry, we've got enough. By the way, I feel you should know that Ripple likes to take advantage of the employee discount. You may want to ask him about the cartons you have found missing from the inventory in the morning, or the excess of sample spoons in your rubbish bins.
What? How did you know I was missing cartons? Are you saying Ripple took them?
not in so many words, but you may also need to ask him about last Wednesday as well. He may remember things differently. Ladies, we're finished. Trotson, let's go.
That was good of you to tell the owner that Mr. Ripple wasn't being honest, Sherlock.
Employees will often take advantage if it suits their wants and desires.
You could have been a bit more subtle about it, though.
Can we come back here, Fluttershy? I really, really, really want to try that sundae.
Maybe later, Pinkie.
The hat and ribbon shop that the hamster recalled was located on the other side of the city, but that was no trouble. A quick cab ride later, and we were there. The hamster, through Miss Fluttershy, told us that the owner had given Laurie the ribbons 2 weeks prior. While Sherlock and I questioned the owner, Pinkie Pie was quite insistent on trying all of the hats in the shop.
Look, Fluttershy, look! How's this? Bowler's just bowling me over. What do you think?
Oh, it's very nice.
You should try something on. Come on! What chapeau for my chap? A classy cloche? A fetching flat cap? Boater? Beanie? Bonnet? Motorboard? Top hat? Hard hat? Crash helmet?
How about this fedora?
Fluttershy, that's a trilby. The fedoras are over there.
I didn't know there was so many. Did Rarity teach you about hats?
Nah, I knew a lot before I met her, but you really should try something on. I know, a fez! Fezzes are perfect.
Maybe one of the ribbons instead?
So, you don't recall the Winghams coming in 2 weeks ago, just the week before and the week after?
No, I don't. And I would know if they'd come in. I'm here all day. Every day. The only time I leave the shop is when I take my lunch. And I usually leave a sign up for that.
I see that you have loos for both mares and stallions. These seem to be quite spacious. Is it possible that some pony hid inside while you were leaving for lunch?
Well, goodness. I suppose it's possible. I'll need to be more careful in the future.
Thank you for your time. What do you make of it, Sherlock?
It is clear what we have now, Trotson. Someone is pretending to be various ponies within the city. That is the riddle behind the hamster's words. The foal sitter but not, the ice cream pony but not. His eyes told him one thing, but his advanced and strongest sense of smell told him differently. And these scents, the hamster would have known with frequency that the Winghams and their daughter visited these locations, and with how close the family was to their neighbor. The pony we're looking for obviously sought out the filly, followed her and her mother, and managed to gather an idea of their basic routine. Once knowing it, they staged the foal napping. The great question left now, however, is who we are dealing with and why they wish to foal nap Laurie Wingham.
Do you think he could be changelings, Mr. Hooves?
Don't be silly, Fluttershy. They already did a changeling episode.
What?
I didn't say anything.
It is unlikely to be a changeling. A changeling wouldn't have outright foal napped Laurie Wingham. They would have attempted to take over her life in order to devour the love that her parents showed her. Or conversely, they would have taken her mother and father and fed upon her affections for them. You're wearing a headband.
What?
Well, you weren't wearing one when we came in.
Oh, just trying it out. Something new.
Right. Why would a changeling pretend to be any pony that the Winghams didn't have a great affection for? Well, this case is getting more complex by the moment, Trotson.
But it's impossible for a pony to take over some pony's appearance that easily. What about the cutie marks or the colors of their manes, their coats? Those are all unique.
Hence the complexity! Oh, this case is the most magnificent puzzle to date!
Puzzling puzzles are positively perfect.
Precisely, Miss Pie.
And how is the pony doing this, Mr. Hooves?
There are many ways one can alter their appearance, Miss Shy. You took it off.
What?
The headband, you're not wearing it anymore.
Oh, it wasn't working for me.
Really? I thought it was a vast improvement. Now your mane is hanging in front of your face again.
Oh.
At any rate, we're done here. I need to think more on this puzzle. This may take a while. Oh, these are the most fun. Almost as fun as serial killers in locked rooms.
Is that all you care about? The puzzle?
Why not? We have a witness who speaks cryptically and a cunning culprit. Oh, Trotson, how can you not appreciate it?
A family is in shambles. Sherlock, aren't you thinking about the Winghams? About Laurie? She is the reason you're looking after all. Her parents are worried sick. She must be terrified wherever she is, because she's not with her mother and father and pet. And here you are, talking giddily about the bloody mystery! You're not thinking about them at all, are you? You aren't thinking about Mr. and Mrs. Wingham or Laurie.
Dr. Trotson?
John?
No, Sherlock. Shut up. You're not a puzzle solver. You're not a detective. You're a bloody drama queen! Now a filly's missing, Sherlock, and a family needs us! The game is a hoof. Solve it!
Oh. Trotson, that's it! Think of the filly! Oh, John Trotson, you keep me right. I was overlooking the answer. It was staring me from the beginning and I wasn't paying attention. Ha! Come on, we have to go back to Baker Street, then back to the Winghams.
Why Baker Street?
I'll show you when we get there.
Oh, Lehman says he likes that. He'd like to be called Mr. Baker now.
Good to know!
After retrieving what he deemed necessary from the flat and making a detour at the pet show, Sherlock led Miss Fluttershy, Miss Pie, and myself back to the scene of the foal napping, the Wingham residence. The Winghams were still at home, and upon opening the door, the worry and fear was clearly written in their expressions, though hope shined in their eyes.
Mr. Hooves? Associate? Never mind that. Have you found any leads?
Do you know who took my baby?
I have, but before I can retrieve her, I had to return here.
What? Why? If you know, just go get her!
I require a few more items before I can, and I wish to inform you of the culprit.
Fine, just hurry and get my Lori back!
I will, but for now, she is in no danger. She is with family, after all.
What in blazes are you talking about?
The answer was in front of me the entire time, but I dismissed it, which of course the both of you had been counting on others doing for years. After all, my father is a Pegasus, my mother is a unicorn, yet they birthed 3 earth ponies. Would not be beyond the realm of belief that your child in a family full of flyers on both sides would lack wings.
Sherlock, showing off again.
But this is the good part!
And while Lori resembles her mother in coat and mane colors, there was one distinct hereditary feature that she received from neither of you, nor any of the ponies in these photographs you so proudly display.
I don't know what you mean. What feature?
Her eyes. While dark green eyes are not particularly shocking, Lori's irises contain a rare diamond-shaped hazel flecks. Only someone directly related to her could have this distinction. Grandparents are a possibility, but the better fit would be a parent. Her father. Her biological father.
Oh my goodness, that means...
Mr. Wingham isn't Laurie's real father.
This is preposterous! We asked you to help us and you're saying these hurtful things! I shouldn't have trusted...
Swift, enough. He knows. We tried so hard not to let anyone know. When he came here, I hadn't thought that... I never dreamed that he could have taken her.
What? He came here? Why didn't you tell me?
Because I told him to leave. I told him that if he ever came near Lori or me again, I would get Trotland Yard to take him away.
Wait, what's going on?
Who are you talking about?
The foal napper, Lori's birth father, the stallion who gave Lori her particular eye color. Former actor Chameleon Channy.
Who?
The pony depicted in this poster for The Hunchback of Notre Dame. He was considered one of the most talented actors in all of history. Not only could he captivate an audience, but he excelled at the gift of impersonation and disguise. With costumes, dyes, lenses, and paints, he could become any pony, male or female. Only a changeling could accomplish anything better. Even I, with my own skills at disguise, cannot quite match his expertise. Though I continue to study his methods. In this poster depicting the entire cast and crew of Chady's most successful performance, The Spectre of the Opera, based on the Night of Dancing during World Party 2, he played the Spectre, while this Pegasus mare played a minor role. Does she look familiar?
Mrs. Wingham.
So she was a cast member?
More. She was his mare friend. She appears in numerous cast posters. This is why she has so few photos of her younger self on the mantle. She didn't want to risk being recognized. She stayed with the company until 8 years ago, during the run of Chaney's last performance, trotting him after midnight. It was a flop due to a rather embarrassing costume malfunction. He was laughed off the stage. Miss Wingham likely broke ties with him around the same time or before, given her absence in the posters.
Are you done shaming me, Mr. Hooves? Yes, I did date Chameleon. And he is Laurie's father. But when we broke up, I had no idea. I didn't know I was going to have a foal. I didn't realize it until after I'd met Swift. And by then, we were in love.
I didn't care about Dove's past. I wanted to spend my life with her. So I agreed to keep her secret. And I'd raise the baby as mine. And I have. I love Laurie so much.
But why haven't you kept Cheney as a part of Laurie's life?
Because Chameleon was conceited, pompous, and egotistical. He only cared about his fame and popularity. The reason I broke up with him was because he tossed me away whenever his fans came calling. Then, 2 months ago, he showed up wanting to see Laurie. And I wouldn't let him near her for anything in the world.
But how did he find out about her if he didn't know, and he didn't tell him?
I don't know. But as awful as he is, I had no idea he was capable of something like this. Mr. Hooves, you have to get her back.
I will, but I do require some assistance.
And I'm happy to give it. Toby! This is Toby, my basset. He's very good at sniffing and finding things. If he smells Hampton and something of Laurie's, he can find her quickly.
Oh, that's wonderful news!
Could the two of you contact Inspector Lestrade while we're tracking her down? Don't worry, we'll be sure to come straight back to tell you where she is. We'll bring Laurie home.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank all of you.
Just one moment. Here, this is Laurie's blanket. It should work.
Thank you, sir. Toby, take a good sniff, boy. You got it? Wonderful. Now sniff Hampton, but be gentle. Ready? We're ready.
Let's go find that filly!
I've never noticed this old house before.
You wouldn't. This part of the city is rarely used, not since the slight depression of the 920s. When various ponies grew melancholic without reason or thought and the economy dropped marginally, a percentage of the city's dwellers left their homes and some remained vacant.
My grandma told me about that. She was a little filly during that time. She said it was kind of sad, but not horrible. But then in the 50s, she met my Grandpa Pie and...
Thank you, Miss Pie, for the family anecdote, but we have no time. Look for a way in.
Here's one.
Well spotted, Miss Shy. I doubt we'll be fitting in it, though. Such a small hole in the foundation is hardly a conceivable entryway.
I can't even get my hoof on that.
Shh! Listen.
We can hear Laurie!
Poor thing. She must be terrified and lonely. Mommy? Daddy? I want to go home. Mommy? Hello? Laurie? Who's that? Laurie, don't be scared. We're here to help you. No! You're that strange pony again. He can look and sound like anybody. You're mean. You lie and say you're my daddy, but I don't know you. Leave me alone and let me go home.
I assure you, Miss Wingham, we are not the pony who took you. My name is Sherlock Hooves. I've come to retrieve you.
Liar!
How do we prove that we're not Cheney?
When I was little, my dad said that if a strange pony told me they came from him or my mom, I'd have to ask him our special question. If he got the answer wrong, I had to run far, 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 far away and get help.
Why are you even talking?
Oh, I know. Laurie, I have your hamster, Hampton, with me. If I tell you something only Hampton knows, will you believe us? Maybe? He says that when he first met you, he was very, very scared. He was surrounded by lots of ponies, and there was a big cake with big candles. He said that you opened up his cage, and he was shaking like a leaf. But you told him he was cute, and gave him a yellow cookie that looked like a daffodil, and he wasn't scared anymore because you was so nice and sweet to him. That's right! I had daffodil cookies on my birthday! Hampton, I'm scared. I want to go home. Don't worry, Laurie. We'll be down there soon.
How?
I can pick the lock at the front door, but we need a distraction in case Cheney is inside elsewhere.
Maybe Angel can fit in that hole. If we send him down, he can be in there and bounce around like a bunny ninja.
Well, Angel? It's okay, Angel. He says it can't fit. But Hampton! And Mr. Baker? That's wonderful. They say they could fit. And Mr. Baker wants to be called Cucumber Patch now? I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from.
Miss Wingham, we're sending in some friends for you. We'll be there soon.
Hampton!
Laurie? Little princess, who are you talking to? Have you learned to throw your voice?
He's coming!
We'll use this chance while he's distracted. Come along!
You pin your mane?
Only when I'm going to be picking locks.
Ah! What are those disgusting rodents? Get away from her!
Leave them alone!
Ah! You vile! Get off of me! That tickles!
Toby, go get the Winghams. Bring them here. Good boy.
Got it!
Downstairs!
Off! Get off me!
Don't you dare hurt him! Are you okay? Such a brave little rat. Stay right here in my mane.
The game is up, Chameleon Channy. We've come to take Laurie Wingham home.
You can come with us quietly to Trotland Yard, Chaney, or wait for them to lock you up.
No, Laurie is home. Home is where your family is, and I am her family. Isn't that right, little princess?
You're not my daddy. I want my real daddy and my mommy.
That Pegasus is not your daddy.
Of course he is.
All of you stay out of this. You know nothing.
We know enough that the ponies who raise you and protect you and love you are your family. My dad always gave me smiles and taught me and my sisters all about rocks.
And mine always gave me hugs when I was lonely or sad, and took me to see the ground after my flight school, because every day he told me it was okay if I wanted to be a veterinarian, because as long as I was happy, then he was happy.
Even parents who do not agree with their children find some common ground so long as there's care involved. You hardly know Miss Wingham. Took her under deceptive means and held her against her will, and terrified her. That does not constitute a caring parent.
I could have been all those things for her. If Dove had let me see her. If she had even told me that Laurie existed. But she thinks she's so much better than me. Me! The great Chameleon Chaney! Pony of 1,000 faces. I'll get back on the stage someday, and she'll beg to come back to me. But I won't care! Because I'll have my daughter, and I'll be able to shower her with gifts like beautiful dresses and all the toys she could want. Then, when she grows up, we'll be a perfect acting team. I can tell she's got the acting bug in her. Just like me.
Do you even care about what she wants?
It won't matter, because she'll want what I want.
And that is why you will never properly be her father. You're entirely selfish and cannot see how much you're hurting this foal. You have her in an abandoned 920s house, surrounded by fraying costumes and half-empty makeup jars. The dregs of your past.
If you really loved her, you would see how afraid and lonely she is. You would let her go home and try to get to know her properly. Or know that until you can stand on your own four hooves, you can't be in her life. Let us take her back and then go and show that you're a better pony than you used to be.
Shut up! All of you! I know what's best for my daughter!
You're completely mad!
Leave! Or I'll make you all leave!
Well, looks like you won't come along quietly. Ha!
That's it! Give him the old 1-2!
Miss Pie, assist John in restraining Channy.
Okie dokie lucky!
Miss Wingham, come with us. You're safe now.
I'm really going home?
Yes, I assure you.
And he's really not my daddy?
I call that one the anaconda bow tie.
My hoof's stuck in it.
Laurie, your mommy and daddy should be on their way right now. Let's go. Okay. Thank you. Hampton says thank you too.
After giving Cheney over to Lestrade and the rest of Trotland Yard, we ensured that little Laurie Wingham was reunited with her parents. They were all grateful, and there were many tearful hugs, all of which Sherlock declined. We also said what we thought would be our last farewells to Miss Fluttershy and Miss Pinkie Pie. Until this morning. Just a few hours ago, we received a telegram from the girls asking us to meet them at the train station. They had news to share with us, it seemed.
We're, sorry to have bothered you this morning. We should have come by Baker Street, but...
We forgot that our train was gonna leave so early. Thanks for coming.
It's our pleasure, ladies.
Far too much pomp to tell us about your wins at the pet show. Congratulations, Miss Pie, on your first place trophy.
Super observant. That never changed. Though it's Gummy's win. Right, Gummy?
And the same to you, Fluttershy, on your dog's first place in the canine category, and second in show.
Toby was a real trooper, and now he has his own blue ribbon.
It's a shame to see you ladies go, though. Has Mr., what was his name this time? Canterbury Bucklepath found a permanent name?
Oh, he, said that name was too confusing. So, right now, he's Mr. Miller.
Such tedium over a name. If he wanted a proper one, he could consult someone with high intelligence, superior pedigree, and taste. Or else find an owner who can properly name him.
Really? Are you sure, Mr. Miller? He says that those are all good ideas, and he'd like to know if you have any suggestions.
Me? Well, if it were me, I would call him something like... Basil.
Do you like that one? That's wonderful! He says he likes it. It's nice to meet you, Basil.
Hooray! Now I can throw him a proper name party!
He, has one more request. He'd like to stay here with you, Mr. Hooves, if you don't mind.
What? With me? But... I've never had a pet before.
But you're intelligent, so I know you can learn how to take care of him really fast. He just needs a clean cage with lots of healthy food and sometimes cheese for a treat. And he won't be lonely or sad because you're so kind.
What?
Yes, one of the kindest ponies I've ever met. You tell the ponies the truth, and you're so humble. And even when other ponies are being mean or angry, you're calm. And you were so sweet to Hampton and Basil and Laurie. You'll help ponies by solving all these mysteries and crimes. You really care about the other ponies a lot, Mr. Hooves. You could learn a lot from him, Dr. Trotson.
What? Me? From him?
You've been so mean and rude to Mr. Hooves this whole time. And you were such a brute with Mr. Channy. Not even bad ponies should be beaten up. And you're just so angry and scary. And I hope you can be more like your friend someday.
Bye!
That's us. Bye, Sherlock. Bye, Trotson.
I'll send you some things for Basil, Mr. Hooves. Goodbye. Goodbye, Basil.
Me. The rude one. Me?
Do be careful to hold in your anger, John. You'll be too scary.
Stop it! I'm not the mean and rude one. This is the worst misunderstanding.
Come along, Trotson. We have a trip to the pet store. I don't speak rat, but I'm sure you'll show me what you like, won't you, Basil? Ah, a new flatmate. But at least we've got room for Basil. I think he's already growing on me.
Let's just read the credits.
Oh, are you still sore about that? Come now, John, don't be...
Can we just please go on with the credits?
Very well. You have been listening to The Adventures of Sherlock Hooves, the Meek Interpreter.
Starring Shirley as Sherlock Hooves.
And Jester Dirama as Dr. Trotson.
Featuring City Mike as Inspector Lestrade, Shimcat as Bunsen, and Storyflame as Sally Shields.
Also featured were Keiko Angili as Mr. Swift Wingham, Kate Bug as Dove and Laurie Wingham, and Jester Dirama as Chameleon Channy.
With Hannah Kay as Pinkie Pie and Storyflame as Fluttershy. Featuring a special guest appearance by Squeakin' On as Hampton the Hamster. Additional voices were provided by QD Brony, Jaffa Archfiend, Sonic Ring 123 Dubs, O'Babble Scribbler, Duck Curie, and the Fangirl.
The script was based upon The Greek Interpreter by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, adapted by the Fangirl and edited by Codemaster C.
Audio editing was done by Trademark, Lightning Blast, and Jenga. Original art created by Cortawesome, Fluffy Zai, and Sonic Ring 123 Dubs, with original music provided by Ordon Rift and Panoink. Additional media was used under the Fair Use Doctrine.
My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is copyright of Hasbro, and The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes are credited to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and the Doyle Foundation.
See you next episode!